Thursday. Head coach, all-tournament team member Josh Hopkins up next. We almost called him Josh Howard. This is Josh Hopkins. Good to see you, Josh.
Nice to meet you.
How you feeling today?
Feeling pretty good.
How about the win last night? Got the win last night. Tough win in overtime against Southeast Guilford of all people.
It was a very tough win. They came out, fired up. We weren't. I wasn't expecting that.
Were you playing them? You were playing down there, right, at Southeast?
Yeah, at Southeast.
Gotcha, on the road. Okay, they came in fired up, ready to go then.
Fired up, ready to go, and we were fired up and ready to go as well. But based off of their season last year and them not winning any games, we didn't expect them to come out and execute like they did. They got a putback dunk on the second play of the game.
Really?
So,
wow. That early in the game.
Yeah.
And they've got some talent down there this year at Southeast.
They have a couple players that are friends of mine.
Guys you know then, yeah.
Yeah.
This is just kind of off the cuff, just me and you in our talk.
Yeah.
Do you see those guys staying? Are they going to stick with the program at Southeast? Are they dedicated to it?
I think so.
That's going to be the key thing. Keep those guys at Southeast. Because in the past, you could be losing guys going other places.
Yeah.
That's just the way it's been.
That's how it was last year. They started out, but when, they recognized they weren't winning in the game, they're like, maybe I need to take a year off. But then they came back this year, with the mentality that maybe we might not win as much, but we can still add to the school and to the basketball team and the record, just trying to build.
What about the layoff? Did that layoff with the snow and the lack of being in school? You had to be shooting balls somewhere, but did the lack of practice and stuff hurt you guys some?
It hurt us a little bit just on our execution. You had practice to execute and go over the little things, and having that layover where the snow and we weren't even able to get into the gym as much. That took away from our, the little things, us executing on the little things. That's all it was.
How many did you score last night?
I had 15 last night.
15. Did you lead the team in scoring, I guess?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what your average is this year? Probably around 15? Somewhere in that neighborhood, 13 to 15 points a game, maybe?
Might be maybe 16, I think.
Yeah,
16,
just above it?
Yeah,
You've definitely had several 20-point games, though, right?
Yes, sir.
What's been your high game this year so far?
34 against Vance.
Against Vance?
Yeah.
When did that game, did it come early in the season?
Yeah, it was our third game. It was our first loss. We started 2-0. We lost that game by 2.
Lost to Vance. What if you broke this thing down? How many you think of those 34, maybe percentage-wise? You have like half and half between dunks and three-point shots? How about that?
Nah, I think that game against Vance, it was maybe a lot of threes. I think I had like 6 threes that game. But dunks maybe won that game.
Mm-hmm. You seem to be very proficient with that three-point shot. That seems to be your specialty.
Yes, sir. Last summer, I used to go to the gym all the time and just work on just shooting in my form. And one thing I need to work on now, since I worked on my shooting, is my ball handling. So that's why I told my coach yesterday when we were talking about it.
How about your free throw shooting? Is that pretty solid too? You think it would be because you shoot that three-pointer so well?
Sometimes you would think that that's the case, but in my case, I still need to work on that too. There's always room for improvement, and that's one area I need to improve in.
And you look at your overall game, you started to impress us last year, I think in January at the MLK Day game at UNCG with that three-pointer. That's when it started to come around. It seemed like it's kept coming since then.
Yeah. I just had to build on the momentum of that game, building my confidence up. Last year as a sophomore being on varsity, that was my first year on varsity. I had to, get used to, get accustomed to the fast pace of going from JV to varsity. And that game just boosted my confidence up on offense and defense.
Is the 34 points that's been your best game so far this year?
Yes, sir.
Talk about the Hayco. How important was that to make the all-tournament team for you? Does that mean something to players? It has to mean something, but do you kind of just take that in stride with the rest of the tournament, just goes along with it, or is that something special?
I was surprised, actually, when they called my name. I was up in the stands talking to my dad and a couple of friends, and they called my name for all-tournament team, and I just looked at my dad, I said, did they call my name? He was like, yeah, they called your name. So I went down there, and, I was just shocked. I'm blessed.
Got to be blessed. It's good to get that name out there, no matter what you do. Get that name out there. That's important, as you know. And you got a lot of talent in your team, too. So to be the guy designated to get that position, get that spot, that also feels good.
Yeah, it feels great. But, I still owe it to my team because I definitely can't do it by myself. Definitely can't do it by myself.
You've got some talent on that Dudley team.
Yes, sir. Breon Seagraves, point guard, Hendon Hooker, small forward, shooting guard as well. Sometimes run the point. Antonio, Aaron, Brandon Lambert, Shaheem Cooper, all of them.
I'll tell you what, Cooper had a big game against Southern Alabama. I think last week he led the team to scoring.
Shaheem did.
It's kind of funny. Some guys on the team will just pop out of nowhere leading the team.
Because it's funny because everybody on our team is able to score and able to have big games. It's just, if they play hard enough that game, or if they want it bad enough, because they're all capable of doing it.
Well, you take a look at what's happened so far this year. Let's go back to the Page game. That Page game a while back. Now, you guys lost to Page last Thursday night. That was a snow night. They played the game a day early. You lost to Page. And what happened in that game?
That game, it was our defense. We were confused on defense a little bit, and especially with DeAndre.
Did he Overton hurt you some that game?
Yeah, because he was just coming full speed down the middle, and we couldn't stop it. To be honest with you, we just couldn't stop it. We had, we weren't cutting off the middle like we were supposed to, and it was just tough that game.
Do you like those big games, the Page game, and games like against Grimsley? That was a big game because you beat Grimsley at your place and beat them pretty well.
Yeah, I love big games. It's always good to get a nice crowd out there and perform well. Unfortunately, we didn't perform as well against Page, but
the crazy thing is, this conference must be kind of crazy too, because you guys beat Grimsley, and Grimsley had just recently beaten Page at Grimsley. And then you turn around last night, kind of struggled a little bit against Southeast. Now you got to turn the whole thing around again, another abrupt turn, and go face Smith tomorrow. That's going to be a big challenge.
It's a big challenge. Anybody can be beat on.
You kind of like this metro because it's kind of like a little miniature ACC on some days.
Yeah, it is some days. Mm-hmm. But anybody can get beat on any night, so you just gotta bring it every night and be focused.
What's the biggest challenge about going to Smith tomorrow night?
Probably the crowd. The crowd against the crowd in Smith and Dudley games is always tough. You're gonna hear some things in the crowd, but you just gotta zone it out. It's just you and whoever's on the court with you.
You might see some big names here too. I remember one year I was over at the Smith Dudley game, and there was P.J. Harrison and Eric Ebron came in from Carolina that night to watch the game. So you might get some people popping in to because people tend to kind of flock to those games, the big games.
Yeah, they do. The whole city comes out to those games in football and basketball. So we just gotta bring our A game.
I just hope they got the PA system fixed and the music working, because they didn't have it working last night when Smith dropped that game to Grimsley. And that just kind of shows you again, Grimsley steps into Smith and beats them by 7 over there.
Yeah, Grimsley has some.
Tell you, let me raise my hand. That one guy they got, I would hire him today to go with you on our all-tournament team from Shane's. Aaron Wiggins. Number 3 is a ball player.
Aaron Wiggins.
He can play smooth.
I was just talking to my dad about him, maybe trying to see if he can come play with me AAU this summer, because me and him, and along with the other players, we have one from Greensboro Day.
Who do you have from Greensboro Day?
Solomon Smith.
Raise my hand again. Solomon Smith is some of the best untapped talent in this town.
Yes, sir. David Funderburg from.
We just got to get Funderburg. We got to wake that guy up. We got to bring out the Geno John. Got to bring him out of it.
That's what we got to do in AAU, because he was, we seen the talent. And we seen, he hustles.
Yeah.
But he just has to bring that beast out.
Got to get him attacking that basket with some force and some furor. He kind of looks a little bit like me in some of his stature.
Yeah.
Remember Jackson Kent? Remember Jackson played for Page a couple years ago with James Madison. Jackson was kind of a tall guy like that, but I mean, Funderburg is definitely a post player. Jackson's more of a tall running guard up and down the court. But if he can just wake up Funderburg, I think that guy's got unlimited potential inside of him.
Definitely has a lot of potential.
And Solomon Smith, I'm not sure where he came from, but that guy can play too. He might be one of the unsung leaders on that Greensboro Day School team right now.
My favorite person to play with. He hustles the whole game. He doesn't complain.
And he does it on both ends.
Both ends.
He can help you both ways. Yeah.
Both ways.
I mean, I had not seen him at all until the HACO this past December.
Yeah.
And I think I found out he maybe had attended a homeschool up until the past year.
Last year he
played for the Greensboro Heat. They told me.
Yeah.
The Heat team.
And I think they won the championship for homeschool. I think they did.
With him playing, he's number 35. So I saw him against Forsyth Country Day back on Tuesday, I think it was. Had an outstanding game. That guy's a player, no doubt. What's the name of your AAU team?
Court Generals.
Court Generals.
Yes, sir.
That's a new one on me. I haven't heard much about that team.
Yeah, this past summer was our first year playing D1. This was my first year playing with them. I used to play with Team Phoenix, but we did pretty good this summer in most of the D1 tournaments, Rick Lewis tournaments, things like that.
Yeah, Rick Lewis has got the name out there too with the basketball. It would be the Phenom Hoops Report. He's the main man there. What about your team generals? Who's the coach?
Coach Jimmy. Florence, Jimmy Florence.
Jimmy Florence. Okay, don't know much about him, but that's a fairly new team. You got some talent on that team, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
What seems to be your most natural position?
Probably the 2, shooting guard. Probably the 2.
You feel that's the way you go for college?
I think so. In the summertime, some tournaments I play point guard just to get the feel of it. If I have to, play a little bit. in high school or whatever the case may be. But yeah, two guards, my most natural.
You got that outside shot, but you're an explosive player too. You can take it to the basket with some authority also.
Yes, sir. I actually had to work on my explosiveness. Probably as a sophomore, transitioning to varsity because I wasn't nearly as big. I'm still slim now, but I wasn't nearly as big when I was a sophomore. So that summer I definitely had to work on my explosiveness.
Did you play JV at Dudley your freshman year?
Yes, sir, I did.
Who was coaching the JV team at that time? Any idea? Coach Rob?
Coach.
Maybe Coach Robert Johnson, maybe not?
Coach Henson. Coach Henson.
Brent Henson, I got you.
Yes,
You remind me a little bit of Devin Gregory for some reason. Remember Devin Gregory at Dudley a couple years ago, played at Greensboro College later?
Yeah, I do.
He was kind of a scoring guy, too, had that scoring ability. So you never know how these things might come together. What's been the toughest game you've had so far this year?
Definitely Southwest.
That's a game.
Those
guys can run, can't
Langley
they?
brothers.
They're a challenge, aren't they?
They're tough.
They cover a lot of court in a short amount of. It's like a pass and a half. They're at the basket.
And it's crazy because they're so used to playing with each other. They're brothers, so of course they're gonna be used to playing with each other.
They don't make as many turnovers because they know where to move.
They don't.
And know every spot on the court and know where they're going to be all the time.
Yeah, they do.
And then the young kid Cayman Mitchell and also the Smith kid benefit from what those guys are doing.
Yeah.
Look at some other things. We talked about the old tournament team quite a bit. What do you think your meal ticket is for college? 3-point shots, you're going to be your meal ticket, you think?
I think so because, the outside shot, 3-point shot, it translates on any level. If you can shoot, you can shoot.
That's why I asked that question about the free throw shooting earlier because it seems like to me the 3-point shot is just an extended free throw if you're open. Yeah.
Basically.
That's why you got to hit 80% at the line at least, minimum.
So got to work on that.
What about, do you remember the first time you dunked the basketball?
First time I dunked, it was the summer of my 8th grade year going to my 9th grade year. I was at New Light Church right across the street from Dudley in the gym, and I threw an alley-up, caught it, got crazy hype. I was just running around the gym telling, hey, did y'all see that? That was my
You did
first
have
time.
somebody did witness it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's good. That's good to have the witnesses there. How big is that game again against Smith tomorrow night? How big is that game for you?
That game is very big because, right now we're sitting at 11-4 overall, 4-1 in the conference. If we can beat Smith tomorrow, that'll make us 5-1, keep us at number 1 in the conference. If we lose, that might give Grimsley a chance to tie it with us in the conference.
What are you expecting out of Smith? What do you expect Smith to bring in tomorrow night?
I
know it's going to be Pratt. A lot of ball in Pratt hands.
A lot of energy.
Yeah, and the Crutchfield kid was big last time against Grimsley too.
Yeah, Jacob is a tough player too, especially as a sophomore. You got a lot of room to grow.
Is there a Dudley player you watched as a kid growing up and kind of wanted to kind of pattern your game after him a little bit at least?
I grew up around Sam Hunt.
Yeah,
His mom used to watch me and my sisters when we were young, so I was around him when he was growing up. When he was in elementary school, I went to the same elementary school as him. Watched him in middle school, high school, and he's just a unique point guard. He works out all the time. Summertime, 2-a-days. Nobody forces him to. He does.
And he nails those free throws too.
He does.
Ever since he was just a little boy back in the day. Where'd your game get started? The youth team you played for back in the early days?
I didn't start playing basketball actually until I was in the 7th grade.
Really? It started late then?
And I didn't play AAU until
What got you interested in?
I was just curious about it. I was loved playing football when I was younger.
Started playing football.
So I was a football player, and then I just was interested.
Are you still in football at all now? You don't play now, do you?
I don't play
Do you
anymore.
see yourself going back? Because I talked to Alan Hooker. He said, Guy Hendon's got to get that kid out there.
Yeah. Everybody tells me I should go back, but, I kind of lost the love for the game. I didn't, even if I could play.
You got to want to do it because there's a lot of work involved.
Because I didn't want to be out there, not loving the game when somebody else can be out there. That
Take
loves
somebody's
the game.
spot who might be wanting more. I got you. Toughest player from Dudley you go up against in practice every day?
Probably Hendon Hooker.
Hendon Hooker gives you a good challenge every day.
Yes, sir, because, he just plays hard all the time. He hustles. He makes smart decisions, big, long. So, it's definitely a challenge to go up against.
How about the toughest player from the opposing team you faced this year? Remember a certain player was pretty tough on one of the opposing teams from the season?
Man. I would have to say maybe Trey Turner
Yeah.
from Northwest.
He's a good kid to throw out there because Trey can give you a game. He's got that outside
He can shoot
shot.
too.
Oh, he can shoot
Shoot
all
too.
day long. And I got to ask him when I see him, is he shooting his three-pointer fading back? Or most guys shoot the three-pointer kind of going to the basket. Looks like he's shooting his fading back sometimes.
He might shoot his.
Because he's
going
trying
back.
to draw that stinking foul. He wants that 4-point play.
Yeah.
But you don't want to hit the court trying to draw that foul. Instead, you got to get back. If you don't hear the
Straight
whistle,
up and down.
you
I always
better
tell you straight up and down.
get
So,
back up quick. No doubt about it. Give us kind of the speculative for us what kind of game you've got to play tomorrow night yourself to be sure you're at the top of your game and that your Dudley Panthers win tomorrow night.
Tomorrow, I just got to make sure that I play smart. Hustle the whole entire game. Whenever I get in, if I don't get out, if I get tired, I got to call for a breather. Go out, come right back in. I just have to, play team ball.
Who do you look to have a big game from Smith?
Pratt.
Got to be Pratt.
Pratt.
If you hold Pratt under 15 points, do you think that might be a success story?
Definitely, because last game we held them to 12.
Yeah.
So,
And you beat them pretty well at your place.
Yeah.
How about a big game from Dudley? Who's got to have a big game tomorrow? Along with yourself, who's got to have a big game?
I think Breon Seagraves, because he's able to score just as many points as me or Hendon or anybody.
Exactly.
But his thing is he has to be patient, more patient.
He's got to come out ready early.
Yes, sir. Has to be focused. Not let any personal thing on the court, since we know them too. They might start to get to talking,
work
but
on you.
just got to focus.
Got to focus on Dudley basketball.
Yes, sir.
How about who wins the Super Bowl and is Cam Newton the NFL MVP?
Carolina Panthers going to win it, and
Okay.
Cam Newton definitely the MVP.
You love what Cam's doing these days?
Yes,
All
sir.
that energy?
Yes, sir. Came a long way.
Energy personified, no doubt about it.
Definitely.
Josh, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations to Hayco. Did you get your meal ticket? I got your meal
Yes,
ticket.
sir. I got my meal
Okay,
ticket.
very good. Keep up the good work. Look for you
you,
tomorrow
sir.
night. 20 points or more. You guys will win.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.